time is it?
It's Tuesday night, 10 p.m., and this is the C3 Podcast.
I guess you've heard of my reputation. I've had my share of fooling around. But everybody needs stimulation.
I had fun, man. Just out, you guys joking. We working at the same time. Putting the work in as a team. Like I said, man, I'm just glad to be with the guys.
A favorite night of the week?
Good Lord, it's a good day to be a Panthers fan. And we the best. You heard them. Say it. We are the best, Joe. And we put it on them right in the mouth. That's right. Panther fans, it's Tuesday night where we unite and we punch them right in the mouth on the C3 Podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com, where I, the professor, a.k.a. Tony Dunn, every Tuesday night chop it up with my best of homeboys. And I've got with me Joe, that freaking Puerto Rican, back from the beach, well-rested, Ben, hydrated, I hope. How are you?
I am hydrated. I'm feeling much better. Ate like a champ tonight. Did some homemade cooking, so it was outstanding. It's been a good Tuesday, and now the perfect nightcap for an evening is the C3 Podcast.
Yes, cheers.
Which is brought to you by Fan First Productions, where we realize that football without the fan is just a kid's game.
Mel Mayock is another fan of football. He comes from us live from Las Vegas. How are you? Is 2 on the verge of being a streak?
Hey, man, you got to start somewhere, right? But, Joe, man, you got me hungry. What did you have for dinner? What was served?
We had, coming from the freaking Puerto Rican, we had some very southern traditional food. We had homemade cube steak.
Oh, nice.
Some sticky rice, Charleston, South Carolina style.
Nice.
Along with some homemade lima beans. Cooked very southern style. Right. And really, that was plenty.
All right on, man. Well, hey.
Tell Lindsay, good job for fattening that boy up.
Yeah, you better thank Joey. Joey's the one who made it. I started cooking this morning at I guess about 9 o'clock, got everything into the crock pot ready, and then it just cooked all day. It was unbelievable.
Good for you. Mel Mayock, how are you, man? It's nice to see you 2 weeks in a row.
Thank you, my man. No, things are great. And guess what? I will be here next week as well, so we're going to do the old hat trick. It'll be 3 weeks in a row. Might be a record. But
that is what we call a streak, folks.
That's it.
All right,
hey, I'm excited.
Tonight's episode, guys, is 0 for 38. Shaq just keeps pounding, just like the C3 Podcast. This is episode 16.22. What we're going to be talking about, we'll highlight a couple of things. It's from Shaq Thompson's baseball career to lightning strikes at Bank of America, and we're even going to be talking about how the Panthers season, if it can be more than a lightning strike. We've got even some other fun things to talk about, and I got to say this, if you want one of the most epic ice-up picks of the week, you're going to stick around for tonight. The professor is ready. He's come prepared.
It's gonna be live, people. Put the children to bed early.
That's right. That is exactly right. If you have little kids or sensitive ears in the room, you will want to take caution. Other than that, you can tweet us using the hashtag C3. We'd love for you to be a part of the show. You can participate on YouTube in the comments section. We'll work in as much as we can and to the best of our ability. Also, what we are is a Panthers fan podcast trying to grow Panther Nation. And I can tell you this, Joe, guys, it was a very somber week in American history, and my heart goes out to all the Americans touched by this past week's events, those who were directly touched and those who were touched through the the social happenings, and one thing that I love about football, and really what we are working on trying to develop at C3, is just a kind of a sense of inclusiveness. You know, is that Panther football is our way of really celebrating humanity and people and friendships and personalities and enjoying life. And so what I guess I want to kind of just do is put that out there, is that for anybody who doesn't feel included in our society and our culture, and has issue, our hearts go out to you, as well as just what a tremendous time in American history. And when I say tremendous, really tumultuous. Joey, it had to have touched you down in South Carolina as well.
Oh, definitely. You know, we wonder what our world is coming to when we see these type of events taking place. So many people seemingly dissatisfied or out of touch with their humanity. You know, there was a time where people, you know, humanity was one of the first things that they had in relationship with someone else, was their humanity. But you see less and less of humanity today, and our society, our culture is losing that.
Well, we're building it back up, guys.
We are, exactly.
Today is a new day, America. I'm proud. I think we can come together, and we're going to do that tonight.
And that's one thing that we do. We do share. We have a love and a passion and a deep desire to see this team succeed. And that's what we have in common, and we need to look for what you have in common with people.
Now, could you both agree that in this serious time, that if every American was a Carolina Panther fan, it would be a better country?
Yes.
Amen to that. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not trying to diminish any of that. But you know, we want to take that serious, and please, we're going to this week turn the page and try to build a better America. And for us, a better America involves the Carolina Panthers, the team that we love. And one of I'm gonna actually here. We'll just go ahead and jump in the show. Who cares?
That's what we're here for.
Good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
No, I'm just getting warmed up. Here's Charlie facing the fire, and there's George hiding in Big Daddy's pocket.
Dylan and Dylan, because I spit hot fire.
Take a flamethrower to this place!
What's hot on C3? What's hot, really, is the dang weather. I think I said that again last week at the same time. There's thunderstorming outside my window again because it's so hot that the world expunges that heat in North and South Carolina with thunderstorms and lightning. And, July 28th is kicking off, guys. And July 28th, Mel, can you refresh my memory and Panther Nation about what that date is?
Training camp, baby, just 16 days away, and first day of training camp is the first day, really, of the new year. I tell you, is it just me, or has this summer been like longer than usual in terms of the lack of Panther stories, the lack of...
No, definitely not just you.
It's the calm. It is very calm. You're right. And I can tell you it's going to be hot. It's going to be in training camp. But it's a heat that I'm ready. If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. We're going to talk a little bit more about training camp as we go on. But other stories that are hot in Panther Nation, well, when I say hot, is that we're trying to find things to talk about. Bill Voth doing a fantastic job over at Black and Blue Review. He caught up with Shaq Thompson at a Charlotte Knights game, and Shaq Thompson, and he got some really great reporting about Shaq Thompson, how he feels he's going to be more prepared and more focused and ready this season. Basically, more accustomed to being a pro, but But one of the things that this story that Bill Voth put out got to highlight was that Shaq Thompson used to be a professional baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that we've known about, and also that Shaq Thompson went 0 for 38 as a professional baseball player with 37 strikeouts, I believe.
Can't hit the curveball.
And I think we had a friend of the show, Greg Bell from the Seattle Times or Seattle News Tribune, say that he couldn't hit the curveball, right, Mel?
That's right. That's right. He's been on the show a few times, and he loves Shaq Thompson as a player. He loved him up there at University of Washington. Thinks he's just going to be outstanding. But, boy, he could not hit the curveball. 0 for 38. That's brutal.
That's tough. That is a tough – I mean, if you think about it, that's gosh, you got to retire earlier than that. At what point do you retire? I mean, obviously 38 for Shaq Thompson.
As soon as you get drafted in the NFL, you give up on baseball days.
That's right.
Okay. This leads me to believe I've been thinking about something. I haven't even put a letter to the pen to the paper yet. But one of the things that Shaq Thompson, I'm trying to think about how he represents the future direction of the Carolina Panthers defense. And it's something that I think we've seen. I think Dave Gettleman, while he has continually said that he's trying to build with the hog mollies and rush the passer, I think he's trying to create a modern defense that is composed of big, like, bulldozing guys up front with these ridiculously athletic linebackers behind them. If you think about the athleticism for the linebackers that are Luke Kuechly, Shaq Thompson, and Thomas Davis, that is some speed back there, guys. So is there anything, am I off in saying that potentially, you know how just 2 years ago people were talking about with the Seattle Seahawks, how they were crafting what was the new defense of these, and the way that they were going to be doing it with the safety and a secondary and the Legion of Boom and how they got speed up front. Is Dave Gettleman, are we seeing something particularly special with this? Am I off, I guess, or am I on to something?
Well, P. Nasty and I were having a good conversation online about these linebackers just a few weeks back. Willie, if you're out there, tweet in, give us your thoughts. But, I think it's more than just having the athletic linebackers, which you're absolutely right. I mean, we have to have the best linebacking core in the league, in my opinion. But also what you're doing, you see with the drafting of Jeremy Cash out of Duke this year, who was a safety, and they've got him pegged as a linebacker. I think what you're seeing is the philosophy that you've got a linebacker that can come in, that can drop into the secondary.
Coverage.
And can, you don't have to bring in that nickel back all the time, or you never have to bring in that dime back.
Right.
You've always got that linebacker who can get up and play the run or can get back into the secondary. So it's like on offense when you look for that 3-down running back, so you're not tipping your hand. You take somebody out who can't block and bring in a blocking running back, the odds are they're going to pass. Well, on defense, it's kind of the same thing. You're kind of giving a lot more options to your defense with these types of linebackers.
Joey, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely spot on. It's obvious when you're going, the days of making it obvious when you were going into your nickel or dime set are behind us. We're trying to establish a defense that keeps the offense guessing. What we're going to do if we have two former defensive backs lined up at linebacker, we know can cover. That changes what the offense is going to do. We know they can play the run well because they're linebackers, but at the same time they can cover. So
yeah, do you remember, Joey, what just two or three shows ago when we did Buddy Ryan's show and Rivera talking about that defense and the 46 defense, and what he was talking about was and we talked about how football had kind of changed to where that tight end is becoming not so much of a blocker now, so you can't just double down on the run entirely. What, in some ways, I see it as is trying to find a way to have those tendencies of the 46 defense of being able to stop the run at all costs, but not becoming as vulnerable to a tight end who can do damage to you, because that's what Ron Rivera said that you can't do with the 46 defense is that tight ends play different today. You know, they throw the ball more. This is a way, I think, of incorporating some of those intrinsic principles of that style of defense without sacrificing the ability for your linebackers to get. I mean, the linebackers are cornerbacks and pass rushers.
Right,
Look at the professor teaching it, man. That was good.
And you know, being linebackers, they're taught to stop the run, but being able to cover, if they're forced to cover a back out of the backfield or cover the tight end, they're not in like completely throw-in territory.
Right.
And at the same time, if the offense decides to run the ball, we still have guys in there that can make a play. Whereas before, you brought in this tiny nickelback, and you go to run the ball, and, you know, the tight end or running back, fullback, is going to come and cream the guy. So it really does make a difference.
The other element that I see to this is that I don't know if Luke Kuechly is the linebacker that made us really start to see this type of vision. But Luke Kuechly plays better when he's not on an assignment.
Right. He's more in his zone.
Yeah, is that you let him react to a play. If you develop a front four that is strong enough to where they can slow the run down, they can generate pressure, your linebackers don't have to make the play. They have to wait to make the play. You know, and what they can do is react.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember back on Thanksgiving Day, Luke Kuechly's second interception against Tony Romo?
Yeah.
I think it was Thomas Davis that said that Luke Kuechly totally freelanced that play. At the last minute, he changed the call, switched everybody around, you know, went away from what the coaches had called in.
Look at this on YouTube, BS12. Just right as you were saying it, said Dallas Cowboys game is a prime example of that with Luke.
That's a smart young fella out there.
And what you get is, if you think about it, the lateral speed that you're creating. If Thomas Davis is the slowest guy in the bunch, that's some interesting, because that man is crazy athletic still.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when he came into the league and he was transitioning to linebacker, the lateral speed that both him and Thomas Beeson had together? I mean, Thomas Davis was drafted essentially to shadow Mike Vick.
And before you get crushed, that was John Beeson, right? And then Dan Morgan.
Who did I say?
You said Thomas Beeson.
Oh,
no worries. No worries.
I was combining Thomas Davis.
Yep.
And
now, that would be a good linebacker. You combine those two.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, that athleticism is something, and it's really a tradition in Carolina. If you go back to Dan Morgan, you go back to Sam Mills was linebacker, right?
Oh yeah, middle linebacker.
Right? So you get that, and then you get Will Witherspoon. We have a history of
Kevin Green, Lamar Lathan. Yeah, this is linebacker country.
And what's his name with the concussions?
Dan Morgan.
Dan Morgan, he was an incredible linebacker coming out.
He had 22 tackles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was an amazing linebacker.
That was Joey's boy back in the day.
Yeah, he just, you know.
You know where he is now? You know where he is now?
He's in New Orleans, isn't he?
No.
Yeah, Seattle. He's like the president. Yeah. Okay. Lots of you guys on YouTube, Mark Fields, Lamar Lathan, all names. It is a heritage, and if you could say this, is imagine if Thomas Davis gives us another year of that Pro Bowl caliber play that he's brought, and then you get Shaq Thompson as a butt like what Luke Kuechly was in year 2. This could be the best. Arguably they could be the best linebacker core in Panther history, and that's something to be said.
But let's be real. It takes more than just the linebackers to have a great linebacker core. It starts up front. Vernon Butler, he's gonna make a big difference. He'll probably make them even better. My fear is will that secondary hold up and support them as well on the back end with the young rookies that we have. So the potential's there, but all these ingredients have to come together and make a good
certainly
good team. So.
Okay, other news and what's hot right now is Bank of America Stadium was struck by lightning today or yesterday, one of the two. You can see a video of it.
Wow.
Like there's one of the news. Yeah, I saw it on Reddit, and the stadium was like literally struck. I mean, it's like crazy. Like you could make it into a cool video. Like what you need to do is have the Panthers video team needs to take that video of Bank of America being struck by lightning, and then all of a sudden like a Cam Newton Frankenstein growing out of it.
Right on.
But I hope nobody was injured. I hope everything's safe. And that asked me, though, the very first thing I thought of when I saw Bank of America get struck by lightning, Joey, is this. They say lightning never strikes in two places in the same place twice. But lightning certainly struck last season at Bank of America when the Panthers went 15-1 and made a Super Bowl appearance. This lightning strike, does it signal more lightning to come or lightning in the bottle last season, just being lightning in the bottle? Joey, what do you think? Poetic, huh?
Yeah, you're waxing poetic here. I think it is lightning in a bottle, but it's something that we should be able to repeat. I mean, we talked about...
Well, then it's a storm.
I know, but at the same time, we're so much more focused than just a general, you know what I mean? We are an organization that has a plan, and we're following that plan, and we're not deviating from it so that we can be one of those marquee franchises. We can be the Steelers, the Seahawks, the Patriots, you know, all those teams. Actually, I read today that the Patriots have moved past Dallas in being America's favorite team.
Oh, that's sickening.
I know that it is totally sickening, but it really is a testament to how good they have been over the last decade or more, decade plus.
14 straight division championships.
Yeah, there you go. You know, it's a real testament. And that's where we're headed. And I believe we have the people in all the right positions to make that happen. So to me, it is a repeating lightning in a bottle situation.
So it's a lightning storm in a bottle.
Exactly. We have
big bottle, man. Big bottle.
It's a big bottle.
It's a 3-liter.
Okay. Mel, what do you think? Is this lightning? Does it strike twice?
I don't know, man. I thought I knew the answer, but then I heard Joe talk, and man, I don't know. We got.
I don't know what Joe said, to be honest. I don't know if Joe said that it wasn't going to be lightning or if it was going to be lightning.
Joe, you're my boy. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. It was honestly, I don't know what you meant.
Shaqeen said we won't go 16-0.
No, that's right. That's right.
We're going 19-0, baby. Perfect season. Gosh, man. Here's the thing: if you win the division, look at what shirt I'm wearing. The three-piece shirt from last year. When did we put it out? Before the season started. Guess what? This year's shirt for the Fantasy Football League is going to be Roar to 4, baby. Roar to 4. And to me, if we can get more, if we can get a fourth if we can make the playoffs again, make some noise. This is a lightning storm, Mel. Storm or bottle. Lightning in a bottle.
Well, you know, we don't see it out here in Vegas too often, but it is a lightning storm going on. That's what we're talking about.
It's too dry for lightning there, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. But when it happens, you know it. It's
I'm
crazy.
sure.
Whew.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought I was going to get a little bit more out of you on that one, but
Well, again, Joe threw me off the tracks, man. I'm thinking one big bottle with a lot of lightning storms.
I don't know where we're at. Are we lightning in a bottle? Are we storm in a bottle? Is this a thunderstorm?
And what does the analogy even mean, Tony?
What, lightning in a bottle?
Yeah.
I think it means you capture it only once.
Right. It was like everything goes perfect. Everything goes.
So my thing is this: is there going to be a lightning storm coming up this year?
Yeah.
Or did we own?
We're taking
Basically, this is a silly. This is some metaphorical way of saying that asking, will the Panthers have sustained success?
Right.
And I think Joe put that very well when he said we've got a plan in place. Really, for the first time, I think in franchise history.
Right.
You know, they're being smart about what they're doing. They're being methodical, and they're getting things done. Now, honestly, the key to this year is going to be two things, in my opinion. Number one, is that young secondary going to come together? And number two, are our key players going to stay healthy? Those two things happen.
Shaqid says to you on YouTube now, as long as the front seven as well gets the job done.
Mm-hmm.
No need to worry about the secondary. So add that to your list.
Yeah, I think you do got to worry about. You got to worry about that secondary now.
I think you do. I don't think you can overlook them completely and just count on the front seven. Yes, the front seven will certainly make an impact on that back, the back four. But there are going to be games where the guys are just going to get beat, flat out beat.
I tell you what, there were times last year where we talked about it on this show that for the first time in a long time, or really ever for the Panthers, the secondary were the guys giving the front four time to get to the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. Is this idea that the front four last year just wrecked shop on their own is not true.
It's not. It's not.
You're exactly right. Is that a lot of the pressure, the secondary held long enough.
Yep.
Is that I'm not saying that they made it so they gave they put the front four's lunch on a plate for them.
Right.
But it certainly was not. Yeah, is that those guys, they held enough. Mm-hmm. Coleman worked out enough. The guys that we were able to substitute in. Here's my thing when it comes to the secondary. When I've been thinking about trying to what this defense, this vision of this defense, we talked about how the front four were kind of the bulldozers, and then you get these linebackers.
Again. Hold on.
He's got to explain it to us. So you get these linebackers that are kind of reacting and raking up the play. You wonder if they're trying to find the same type of sequence for the secondary, and the idea is, look, if we can get guys that are big, that are athletic, they might not shut people down in coverage, but they're athletic enough to not give up big plays.
Mm-hmm.
But what that means is you never bend in the secondary. I mean, you never break, you only bend in the secondary. But here's what's scary about that. Is a lot of that also requires your secondary to have experience and to not get fooled.
Yep.
Double moves. They talk. The double move. These
and
types
the communication.
Of
the between each other. Yeah. Takes time.
So I think we would be naive to believe that is the only that's what's got to happen. Is that the front seven that requires them to be healthy. That requires them to be on their game. It's kind of hard to replicate that 2013 Panthers team that had 64 sacks.
Right.
That I don't see. And do you think that seriously that maybe we can? I mean, if K1 gets 11, right, and Ely gets 11. How did we even get 64 sacks that year? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's insane.
We had the Kraken then, right?
Yep. You had Greg Hardy, and you had a 2-year.
What did he have? 7? How many sacks did he have?
He had 15.
Yeah.
15.
That's when he made his money.
Yeah.
There's still the idea, even if you think about that, 64 is a crazy number.
It is, but that's the type of pressure we're going to need with this young secondary. If we can get that kind of pressure, we're going to have a very successful season.
But shoot, we do that again this year. You're talking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't. That's hard. I don't know if we can replicate.
I don't think we can either, though. 64. Whoo! We should do it over under.
If we can get
That's
close
what.
to that.
Okay, so actually we should, Mel. What's the over under? 60? 58?
Let's go. Let's do a tribute to Dan Morgan, and I'm gonna say over under
55.
55.
55. All
I
right.
think that's
Actually,
a fair number, Mel. I think that's a very good number.
Joey, over or under 55 sacks. Somebody write this down, by the way. Joey, over or under 55 sacks.
I'm going over.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
Al?
going over.
I'm going under. Unfortunately, I don't see it.
What did we have last year?
48. Is that right?
I think that's the right number, Mel.
Yeah, I'm going under too. I hate to be a downer.
Debbie Downers.
Tell it, Joe.
Gosh, that's just so many. When you really think about it, it's a lot. That means we had a lot last year at 48. That's 7 more.
And is KK Short going to get 11 again? How difficult is that, you know?
Right, but if he gets 8 and the rookie comes in and gets 9, you know.
9? The rookie?
Yeah. Look.
No way.
I think
Vernon Butler, no
Butler
way.
is going to have a huge year.
Yeah, and so did K1 as a rookie, but you know how many he had?
Like 5.
He had 4 his rookie year.
Yeah.
So, 9, man, that would be
And that
would
was
be awesome.
in the 64
Yeah.
year.
Listen,
Remember that?
I
Crazy.
think he is going to blow away a lot of people's expectations. He's getting to learn from one of the very best at the position, playing the position, and he's getting to learn from one of the very best
I hope
coaches.
you're right. I hope you're
So
right.
I think
I
he's
like
going to make
this.
a big impact. I was talking with the Pope about a post he put up.
Benedict?
That was well, yes, JP, the Pope. I was talking with him about his suggestion was
And it's Francis.
what's
Right.
his name?
Well, you could call the
Sorry. We're throwing Joey off his game.
Just getting him back
Yeah.
from earlier with that
James-
model stuff.
Who was the corner they drafted first? James Bradbury. He
Yes.
thinks he's going to have the biggest rookie impact. Where, in my opinion, it's going to be Butler because, for one, I think he's got a shorter learning curve, and for two, he's only going to be part of a rotation. He's
Right.
not going to be, dependent on heavily. So when he
That's
gets
a great
there,
point.
he
Yeah.
knows he can ball out, straight ball out.
Like
And-
he's almost like a hidden defensive end, you're saying.
right.
Like he's an interior pass. I mean, it's just that's what he's brought to do.
Right, he is brought in to get to the quarterback and collapse that pocket from the middle. That's what he's brought in, to force the quarterback to go outside the pocket. That's where we can send him into,
That's the key to
defensive
our
end.
That's the key to our defense right there.
Yes.
Well, who was it? Was it Al Green that said, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right?
That's right.
Mhm.
And so if over 55 tackles, or if I'm wrong, I don't want to be right.
That's right.
I want to live in Joey's universe where this happens. Because that universe is a happy place, and I like Joey's universe. 9 sacks from the rookie, over 55 sacks as a team. I don't want to be right, baby.
If we can get that, we're going to have a very good year.
I think of this. Last year was so fun. This is a hidden anxiety I have, guys. A hidden anxiety. I have never had as much fun when it comes to football as I did last year.
That was
Like,
unbelievable.
every game was just a blast. And I felt at the end of games I did not have this nervous feeling. Like, we would be down. People would be coming back, and I'd be like, we got this.
You know, we
Right.
were on the road in Seattle, down by 2 scores, and you felt like, hey, we got this.
Yes, it was so fun. I watched that All In, and by the way, you guys gotta watch that.
I love that show.
If you have Amazon Prime, go watch the season long of the Cardinals. It's fantastic. And then when you get to the Panthers, the NFC Championship, and they're showing the atmosphere, they're showing this, I was thinking about it, and I was trying to remember, and I was like, holy cow, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I was in that place when it was going, and you're getting to see the other perspective, which it doesn't capture our fan experience. But
Right.
I just was like, holy cow, football. There's never been a more fun season.
No doubt
There's
about
not. Is that you can say that 2003 run to the Super Bowl was the most maybe almost magical or something special about that one, but this one was just fun. Selfies on the sidelines, cheering in the bars. I didn't have a down moment until the freaking Super Bowl.
Well, don't forget Atlanta, but yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. Also talking about fun and fantastic moments, Brandon Wager is going to be married in 10 days.
Congratulations to him.
Wager time. Wager time.
Yeah, Wager time. And hold on, I should know his wife's name since he's a friend of the show. I will look it up real quick. She is a former Olympian.
Cool.
Let me see if I can get it. And she for track and field, and she is pretty cool. Let's see what her name is. I don't know. Megan Glisser. So they're going to be married in 10 days. Actually, you can go to Target and see their registry. I just Googled it, and it's the third link. They're registered in Sioux City, Iowa at Target for July 22nd. So if for some reason you decide to go on the registry and mail them a present, at least give them a shout from C3 for us. That's cool. Is Joey making...
Let's send him a CamWow. Let's send him a CamWow. Yeah.
A Wager Minute. Some Wager Minute pants. And we can make some big MC Hammer pants.
Nice.
Getting married, working hard in the NFL, Joey, it's got to be interesting and exciting for that young couple.
Certainly, I'm sure he, his concern is for his family. Like any man, you want to work to make sure your family is taken care of. And being on the practice squad, he makes a nice living. They can be comfortable. Charlotte's a great town to raise your family in. So, and at the same time, he's got enough money to he can raise his family wherever he wants. So, congratulations to them. I believe they already have a child together.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Now he is making an honest woman out of...
Joey.
But anyway, congratulations. I do wish them the very, very best, sincerely.
Okay, let me see. Any other good notes from the week? I think that's about all I got on my show notes. Any other things that you would like to talk about? Oh, we should mention the Fantasy Football League. I've been working on the page, guys. And the page, and obviously this will be opening roughly, we're probably aiming the next 10 days. Maybe we should open it on his wedding day and try to steal his thunder. No. No. We're not going to open it in 10 days. We will open it before or after. But one thing that I've been working on is securing some of the prizes and things. And guys, on its way here for, every year if you buy the premium package in our fantasy football challenge, which is the fantasy football challenge for Panther fans. It is designed entirely with a Panther theme. You get a t-shirt. If you buy the premium package, you get a t-shirt, a Roar to 4 t-shirt, which is phenomenal work by Lynn, Legacy Lines Lynn, Creative Moments. Oh, man, just so impressive. You're going to get a Cam Wow, right? You're going to get a raffle ticket, and this is what's on the way, guys, for an autographed K1 short football that says Go Panthers on it.
That is awesome.
It's super cool. That, and speaking of Super Bowl runs, I got on the way also an autographed ticket stub to the Super Bowl in 2004 by Chris Jenkins. And Mel, that's your guy.
That is, man. That's awesome. I mean, I'll never forget 2003. He had the war of words going on with Warren Sapp, who was everybody's enemy, right? I mean, I like Chris Jenkins a lot now. Getting stubs to the Super Bowl autographed by a player, that doesn't happen every day. So
pretty cool. And it's like in this nice card. It's in a nice card, and like it looks so cool. So it's like embedded. But we're talking about this, guys. On the very first night of, if you buy the premium package, first of all, you're getting a $17 value shirt right off the bat, right? And it only costs $15 extra for the premium. So you get the shirt right away. You get a Cam Wow and a raffle entry into a K1 short football and this Chris Jenkins autograph. And I'm working on more. Like, there are weekly prizes. I've got a Thomas Davis autographed Cam Wow ready to be given away in this fantasy football. So here's the thing, is that if you like fantasy football and you want to play in a league that is the most epic of leagues because of the scope and scale and beauty of the actual system, and then on top of that, it's only with Panther fans, with weekly prizes for Panther fans, I can't think of a better idea. Joey, can you?
No way.
All right.
Let me put this in perspective a little bit. This will be our third year, right? I remember starting this up. You know, we were sitting around chatting in one of our meetings one night, and we said, "Man, we all love fantasy football. We should have a fantasy football league that's different and for Panther fans only, where you're having fun. But the only Panther fans, you got a lot to talk about." So that's what we did. 48 teams, 4 divisions of 12-team divisions. So much fun. And I remember we started that out. It was a lot of work to find 48 people that would come together and join this league. I mean, all of us were hitting people up, talking to them, trying hard. It was a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
But now people are hitting us up saying, "Hey, can we get in? Can we get in? Hey." You know, I mean, the league's already like over.
I didn't even mention some of the best parts about this is that, number one, a grand prize of $300 to the winner.
That doesn't suck.
Plus, every year we do a jersey of the Panthers' first-round draft pick of that year. This year it will be Vernon Butler.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you win is no matter who you are. When you play in this league, you win. So we're really excited about that. I saw another thing, too, is that you can submit Panther pictures on fan pictures on Instagram, on Twitter. This is for the Panthers and Miller Lite. If you use the hashtag #PlayLikeAPanther, you could potentially win a VIP trip by Miller Lite to training camp.
Ooh.
So another suggestion for people listening, and the last suggestion I'll make is this, is that if you enjoy the product that we put out on CarolinaCatChronicles.com and this podcast, consider supporting us through Patreon. It's a one-time thing. You just sign up, and it gives us $1 a month. Buy us a beer. Anything else? Because I am ready to ice some mugs up.
Well, Legacy Lynn out on Twitter says, "Tony," who, by the way, Abby called you out for being 5 minutes late. She calls that Tony time tonight. Yeah. She says, Legacy Lynn says, "I'll donate $1 from the Girl Gang, sterling silver charm set and necklace chain to the fantasy football prizes."
Wow. I like that. You know, speaking of success, this is what I love what I see from the Girl Gang more than anything. Every day when I open my Twitter up and I see that camaraderie and that friendship that's developed, I feel good. But this is what I don't like about it, is that them mugs organized, they're so good at organizing and getting all this stuff together. They've got a special trip lined up. They're getting a tour through Bank of America Stadium, a private tour.
That's
And
crazy.
they sent out a message and they said, like, hey, we got 30 spots. And they filled those 30 spots in like 8 minutes.
It's crazy.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it's crazy.
fantastic. Yeah, it's awesome.
Have you seen
To
that?
think of- I'm like, y'all need to just come run my podcast and my
I
website.
tell you.
with me.
And
Mhm,
those
mhm.
girl gang T-shirts that they printed. If you haven't seen it, Twitterland, you got to go. You Google girl gang, see the T-shirts. Those things sold out in like 3 days. Crazy.
The invitation is still open for the girl gang to do a takeover on the C3 podcast
Be
one
much
night.
more entertaining. Than
Yes, take over our podcast. We love it. Okay, that's about it, except for the most important part of the night, fellas.
Throughout the ice.
Here you go, son. All right, it's time for Ice Up Picks this week, where we tell someone in the world, someone in the universe, something, someone, anything is fair game to ice up, toughen up to get it together. Often these are in jest and have fun, but sometimes they're serious, like when I iced up that 12-year-old kid in Oklahoma. So that was the most serious of them all. No, Mayock, do you have anybody or anything you would like to put the ice bath, to give them the ice bath?
There's a lot of worthy candidates out there this week. As everybody knows, it's been a crazy week in American history, as you pointed out. There's players' wives that are well-deserving. You know, there's players being accused of taking drugs by Al Jazeera, so Al Jazeera's out there. A lot of options. But I'm going to go a little political, and I'm not talking, you know, I'm not giving a political view necessarily, but I'm just talking about how the state of North Carolina, there's a lot of people that are embarrassed by this whole HB2 law. Whether you like it or not, it has cost the state a lot of money, and I'm not getting into the argument that you could get into over HB2, which I think is crazy. But anyway, this has cost the state so much money, so many jobs. It's been ridiculous, such bad PR. And then in the wake of this craziest of crazy weeks, when there was talk about maybe there was discussions going on about changing HB2 to make it more amenable to corporate America and make some positive changes in that area, that's not what happens, right? I mean, in all of this that goes on and the division that has taken place in this country, where there's suspicion between urban America and the police, and all of these suspicious things, and just distrust running wild, running the gamut. What does our governor go and do? He freaking creates another law that says, oh, the body camera of police officers is no longer public information.
Oh man.
It's hidden camera. It's now hidden camera.
We're gonna hold that back. So if there's anything that we don't want the public to see,
We can scrub it.
Right. Come on, man.
Oh.
Seriously,
That's terrible.
it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a liberal or in between or what. That is just stupid.
Sensitivity. That's poor politics.
That's
I
and the
agree.
timing is ridiculous. So for you, Pat McCrory, who I have met in a business meeting in his office, and he's a very nice guy. For you, Pat McCrory, dude, get some damn common sense and ice up, son.
Sure that. I mean, well done, Mel. Joey, I have a long ice up, so if you want to get in, here's your moment.
Yeah, hey, let me get in, and mine is not all that involved. I am icing up someone that I'm sure has been iced up in the past. Chad Ochocinco Johnson is in the news again, looking for work this time. He wanted an invitation from Hugh Jackson, the first-year head coach from Cleveland. He sought him out and asked him for some type of job. So, Coach Jackson, being the wise man that he is, decided to bring Chad Johnson in to work with the receivers. kind of as a non-formal coach. But at the same time, I think he is.
Could he be a social media coach?
He would be a very good one because he's very involved. I think he's also bringing Chad in to kind of see where he's at physically and see if maybe he can salvage one decent season out of it.
Get out of town.
It's just a thought. That's my sneaking suspicion. If nothing else, the young guys will learn what is involved in being a professional. Because Johnson was a playmaker for a year or 2 years while he was in the NFL.
More than that, yeah, he was good for like a minute.
He was good. He didn't have the long or extended success.
So this is Hugh Jackson in Cleveland?
This is Hugh Jackson in Cleveland giving Chad Johnson a sort of a volunteer coach kind of basis with the receivers. So let's see what he can do with it. But I think it's really just a ploy for more attention. Once you're in the limelight
So are you saying that Chad Johnson was lightning in a bottle?
Who is getting iced up here? That's what I want to know.
Chad Johnson, because he said he's looking for it, but I don't think that's the case. I think he is just looking to get some more limelight. He's not in the spotlight anymore, so he's trying to get some attention for himself. So that's why I'm icing.
I can't even get on. How about this? Is you go to the other team in the state.
Yeah, the Browns, right?
I mean, my man played with the Bengals. Like, what the hell is he doing on the Browns?
Right.
On top of that, I mean, and not as a player, but even as a coach or player.
Not even as a paid coach. He's voluntary.
He's come over. He's like, actually, you're going to walk in, and he's going to be one of those dudes, like, ushering people around at the stadium.
He's going to be driving a golf cart.
That's terrible. I always liked Chad Ochoa.
You did. I always thought he was more show than production, and I think it's just more of the same.
Okay. Well, we'll give him a ice up. All right.
Ice up.
Okay, so people on YouTube have been calling for Miko Grimes to be iced up, and I think it's coming. I don't know where this ice up moment will take us, but we know that Miko Grimes is an outspoken individual in America, taking advantage of her right of free speech, and we've made fun of her and joked around on this podcast in the past. Very entertaining individual. Well, she's back in the news again. She comes out and says something to the effect of, she made some comment in some interview, maybe on the radio or something, and she was after bashing everybody in her own right. She then called Miami management and ownership and Tannenbaum, specifically a bunch of Jew boys. And then Jay Glazer gets in and says, hey, this Jew boy. And this is always funny to me whenever Jay Glazer is like an MMA fighter. And like when he takes on his, like, he's like, I am an NFL reporter, but also a professional MMA trainer. And he was like, this Jew boy trained your husband, so why don't you shut the F up? And then it went back and forth. And then what happened afterwards, guys, was like a 20, and actually it may still be, it's still going on. It's like a 48-hour rant from Miko Grimes. And I put out at one point is hashtag Miko Grimes eats ESPN. And it has just gone on and on. So in my following of this awesomeness that I like, that Miko, she's like the train wreck that is Miko Grimes. I stumbled across her podcast, guys.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yes. And it is amazing.
I bet. Jiminy Cricket.
So, look at this. She puts out a podcast, and here's a little clip, and it's right after, this is July 5th, the day after Independence Day.
Yeah, July 5th. Yesterday was, Independence Day. America's Day of Freedom. I didn't really celebrate it for those of you that don't know me, I don't really celebrate a lot of American holidays because I'm not asleep. Plain and simple, I'm not asleep. There's a lot of history that's being ignored. A lot of celebrations for things that, aren't really that happy for a lot of people in this country. So, the more I educate myself, the more I realize, there's a lot of us that are just asleep and, not understanding what's happening in our country. And I try to do my part. I try to post stuff educational, informative, honest. But, that's all I'm really prepared to do right now. I'm going to keep talking about it on my podcast and on social media and all that stuff. And hopefully...
Okay, so if you can get past the point of, and I do encourage everybody to get past this point of, like, anytime you say anything that isn't just pandering to everything in America, whether it be the police or whatever, that you're not necessarily crushing everything. But clearly she is going on and saying, like, she doesn't celebrate American stuff. All right, so we're going to give her this, and then she says, look, I'm trying to educate y'all. I'm trying to drop some stuff on you, and I'm just going to keep it, she's just going to bring you the truth. So then she goes on to tell us, to me, this is what I'm asking is, so Miko, please tell us what we need to do to celebrate America and how we can fix it, and this is what comes next.
That's all I'm really prepared to do right now. I'm going to keep talking about it on my podcast and on social media and all that stuff, and hopefully, as a unit, as, a country, we'll all wake up and realize why things are the way they are. Why you can
tell us, Mika,
win $700 million in lottery ticket, but we have so many homeless people and we don't have free health care. There's just a lot of things that, if you did some reading and did some research and opened your eyes, you'd realize why everything is so crazy and so different from the...
All right, so Miko tells us that she's not happy with America. Then she goes on to tell us that we should buy the fact that we can buy lottery tickets will fix the American healthcare system. So I'm following this. I'm loving it. I'm like eating Miko. All right, so she keeps going on. And she then tells us, though, that she is not only... does she know what's going on in America, then she can fix it, America, but she tells us why we can't fix America, and basically she can. Here she goes.
It's crazy that people actually have an opinion about what millionaires are doing. Like, these are millionaires. This isn't like a job like where you can work till you're 64 or 65 and then retire and get a retirement check and all this shit. Like, you have all this income coming in every year. You're making whatever it is you're making, if it's $30,000 to $200,000 a year. This is a once in a lifetime. This is a window, a small window.
So if you're with me right now, Miko's told us she's not happy with America. She tells us then that she can fix the healthcare system. Then she goes on to tell us that we can't understand what millionaires go through, right? As she continues to tell us what millionaires that we can't understand what she and these people are going through, she goes on to use an analogy, this analogy of something I don't know if she can understand.
Let's say you work at Costco's. Boom. You're making, and I am sorry if this number is completely off, but let's say you're a manager and you're making $60,000 a year. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm just guessing. I haven't worked in forever. But let's just say you're making $60,000 a year. And Sam's Club, is Sam's Club everywhere? Shit.
So then she goes on to tell us that we can't understand millionaires, and then she uses this long analogy about how a Costco manager would not you would not blame him for chasing the money at Sam's Club. That's what it goes on. So my point is this, is we can't understand millionaires, but she can understand what life is like for a Costco manager, which she also admits to saying that I haven't worked in forever or ever. Then this goes on to, so just what I'm trying to get to is this, is that, so then that was on July 5th. Timestamp that, and then next she's talking about with these Jew boys, and you can't understand that. And then this crazy fallout follows. And since she tells us this, is that she goes into this Twitter rant that continues, and here is what she says at one point after the Jew tweet. She says, "Bucks, folks, let me know which Bucks writers talk shit about me and said Brent should be cut, etc." She's referencing because of her behavior. "I need to block a few of these fuckboys." All right.
Oh my God.
Like I said, put the kids to bed, like we said.
Okay, next tweet right here. Then she goes on to say, "Look," and defended herself, "how many times do you need to hear I wasn't intentionally being offensive to Jewish people before you get over it, you stupid fuck." That's what she wrote. So here's my point. Alright, so thank you, Miko, for clarifying that you weren't intentionally trying to be offensive, because when you're intentionally trying to be offensive, it sounds like this. "Laughing my ass off. People want me to unblock my page so they can fire shots at me. And since I won't, they calling me soft. Soft these nuts in your mouth."
Yes.
Okay.
Talking about. Oh my gosh.
So after all of that, from her podcast,
there's more.
From her podcast, oh man, I could have used 100 more. So from her podcast to her tweets, I gotta come back, and I'm at this point trying to issue my ice up pick, and I can't decide if it should be between Miko Grimes and our boy Gene Thomas, super heavyweight, who said that he would defend Miko Grimes' tweets. This was before all this happened, and Miko Grimes. That was before all this happened. So all I can say is this, is that I am not icing. I don't know if I should ice up anyone, because Miko then, Joey, on her podcast, said that she was going to do all of this, and here she goes.
It's so annoying to me, and that's why I give them horrible news. That's why when I shit on media members, I try to be so disrespectful so that the news is nasty tied behind them, like just all types of disrespectful cuss words and everything, just so that they don't get any positive out of it. Like, yeah, you're trending for how I shit on you on Twitter. Piece of shit. That's how I like to put them in the news. Oh. You know, they want to be in the news for putting their opinion out as Bible and telling all the fans who are idiots too, because they just listen to whatever the media says. Like, this is what happened. Don't listen to anybody else. Like, I got it. You know, I think that's fucking silly.
All right, so at this point, I'm going to say this. My ice up pick is going to Miko Grimes. And Brent, you got to go in there and shut that girl up. I mean, at least till you're done playing football.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say at first that sometimes I'm put off by Miko, and at other times, like Mel said, she is just damn entertaining.
Yeah, I think she was a lot of that in your ice up pick. She was entertaining, but at the same time, she was scary.
At one point last night, Joey, she put a picture of her up on Twitter that said, "At least I didn't have to use my AK. Today was a good day." She was holding this lime green AKA, and then she put an American flag at the end.
Oh, man.
So my question is, what are the innuendos there? I'm going to ice up Miko Grimes, but I am going to say this. I'm probably going to listen to her podcast again.
Well, Tony, more than anything, we appreciate the honesty.
Boy, all right, so
let me tell you what, though. You're going down a dangerous path, Professor. You mock Miko Grimes, you get on her list, and not only are you going to have Miko Grimes after you, but you got Mike Tolbert's mama, too.
Oh, I know, bro.
You and I are not traveling in the same car.
So here is the thing about that is I said something back to her last night, and it was something that was not a flattering tweet. It was like, I mean, are you really serious with this stuff? And then I deleted it because I was like, I don't want to be blocked by Miko Grimes. I want to see this train wreck. When I drive past this car wreck, guys, when I drive past that car wreck, I'm like this.
You're rubbernecking.
All right, this is a C3 podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Every Tuesday night, Joe Riolano, that freaking Puerto Rican. Tell them where they can find you at.
Folks, you can find me on Twitter at Joe Riolano. Quick announcement. If you know, God bless you if you know anyone that's a Saints fan. But if you admit to knowing anyone that's a Saints fan, C3's parent company, it's Fan First Productions, is going to be debuting a Saints version of the podcast you're watching right now. And that will be debuting on the 20th of July. So tell all your friends you know that are Saints fans, or even the Saints fans you know and you hate them. Make sure you tell them about going Under the Dome. The Under the Dome podcast is going to be everything Saints from the fans' perspective.
Nice title.
Under the Dome.
I like it.
With Miko Grimes.
You don't want to go under that dome. That's right.
And that dome is crazy. I know she's not there, but all right, Mel Mayock, where can they find you?
You got it
on Twitter.
That's it. Real quick, talking about Twitter. One quick shout out to the Southern girl, Abby at Carolina. Abby says somebody needs to wash Miko's mouth out with soap. I agree, Abby. Let's get some class back into the discussion. But anyway, you can catch me anytime at Panthers Drafter on Twitter, talking Panthers, talking training camp, talking everything black and blue. Hit us up, be a part of the conversation.
All right, my name is Tony Dunn. This is the C3 podcast brought to you by Carolina Cat Chronicles. Every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. is when we start it. When we finish it is whenever we like. Thank you for listening. Check out our website. Follow us on Twitter at cat_chronicles. And if you like what you hear, consider buying us a beer. You can find the link to our Patreon account in the show notes on YouTube and also on our website. And that's it. We'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, keep pounding. And Miko, you grimy.